So, I've had the PS5 Pro now for 6 months, and I thought I'd revisit my first video where I looked at why I got the Pro in the first place. So, 6 months on, was it worth the investment, or should I just save my pennies and gone with the normal base PS5? So, in my first video, I said that I got the console on the basis of I wanted better looking games and just better performance overall with better frame rates. So, on a day to day basis, am I actually seeing that and am I still enjoying it? We'll find out if that initial switch to the PS5 Pro was worth it and whether it's worth you investing in the console or just sticking with the base PS5. So let's start by looking at the main reasons I switched to the PS5 Pro over the base PS5. The biggest for me was FOMO. Now, I am one of those people who want to have the best in tech, but sometimes I need to be realistic. Was this the case with the PS5 Pro? One of the other reasons I got the Pro was the fact of the performance boost I would see across games. I'd have better fidelity and faster, smoother frame rates. I've seen that in times in games like Spider-Man 2, where swinging through New York City as Peter or Miles, I'm seeing greater reflections via ray tracing. So another reason I got the PS5 Pro was thanks to the graphics and increased ray tracing compared to the base console. Now, have I seen amazing looking games? Yes. Would I see it in most PS5 games? More than likely. But what's really blown me apart is the PS5 Pro patches for certain games. The one that stands out for me is Gran Turismo 7. So I really like to drive in first person mode on these sorts of games, and wow, the graphical fidelity on these games is just amazing. Seeing the lights reflecting in certain parts of the car's interior is just fair play. The bad news on this is that, yeah, not all games have had a PS5 Pro patch, which is ideal. So something like, I think, Cyberpunk, I was hoping that would have had a PS5 Pro patch. No, but I'd imagine if that did come out, that would look really good. Still looks a good game now. But so, what's it like living with the console? Well, day to day playing games, it's good. It's a lot quieter than my son's fat PS5, although it does get loud when there's a disc inside and that starts spinning. But as soon as it's quieting down, no issues. For the performance that the console gives me, it is a very quiet machine. So the overall UI of the console feels a lot snappier as well. And one thing I really like about the Pro is the unique background that you get, the dynamic wallpaper of the chip inside. I just think that looks really cool. A little bit of a geeky thing, I know, and it's a small thing, but it's those little touches that I do like about the console. Another reason I like the console as well is it gives me the choice of how I want the game to play. So if it's a single player game, I might want to have it looking, I might be happy with 60 frames per second and it looking good. Or if it's a multiplayer game, I might want to go, I don't know, 120 FPS just for that faster response time. Now, Battlefield 6 is coming out soon. I think the beta is due out this weekend. It's an open beta as well, by the way. So hop onto your PS5 or your Xbox and download it. And I think that's going to be open for the next 2 weekends. So I think that'll be worth checking out because that game looks insane. And I have heard that there will be some PS5 Pro benefits. So we'll just have to see what that is going to be like. So, some of the negatives of living with the consoles. So, I think the main gripe is that maybe there's not enough Pro patches out there for maybe like the older games, like I mentioned before. Cyberpunk, I think that would really have benefited from a Pro patch. It might bring us a little bit closer to how it can look on a PC at a fraction of the cost, perhaps. But I think CD Projekt Red are probably past that now, maybe focusing on other things. And another downside is the storage. So yeah, it's got a 2 terabyte SSD, but with the size of these games these days, it soon fills up. I think Call of Duty, when I was looking the other day, it was something like 150 gigabyte, which is just unreal. Okay, so yeah, it's all well and good having the hardware to play these games, but the main focus of Games Console is the games that you can play on it. Now, which games are really worth that outlay of the PS5 Pro compared to the other console? Well, like I've mentioned, Gran Turismo 7, that just looks stunning. There's moments in that game where I am just like, wow, how it looks is just amazing. Another game, Spider Man 2. Honestly, I love it. Maybe not as much as the first Spider Man game, but it's still a great game. Now, I just loved swinging through New York City and then landing on a skyscraper and just seeing the reflections. What the PS5 Pro can do with that is amazing, a bit like Spider Man. Now, another game that I haven't tried but I've heard great things about is Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, I had it on the PS4 and was pretty blown away by the graphics back then. I just haven't had the chance to shell out the £10 for the upgrade fee. But I have heard very good things about Zero Dawn and then its sequel, Forbidden West. Maybe I'll pick them up in the future, but at the moment, I've just got such a massive games backlog, and I've only just started playing God of War, Ragnarok, which has got PS5 Pro patch. Now, yeah, smooth gameplay, graphics aren't amazing. Maybe it could have been better if the developers just focused on a PS5 version, but it's still good with uncapped frame rates thanks to VR. Still early days in the game, but I'm enjoying it. I'm playing on an easier mode just so I can enjoy the storyline. Otherwise, I'll probably just get annihilated by the game and I'll end up giving it up and just deleting it from the console. And I'm sure there's many more that I should be mentioning, but off the top of my head right now, I cannot think. Was it really worth me getting the Pro over the base PS5? Simple answer, yes, but there's an asterisk. I think that maybe my playtime on the big TV has been limited, hence why I got a Portal, which you can check out a video I did on that somewhere down below. Um, I think yeah, maybe there's not been enough games that I've really wanted, that I really wanted to play. I have a pro patch. There's loads of games out there with a pro patch. I know a bit contrary to what I've said before, but the games that do have a patch don't really interest me. Um, and maybe I could have just got the base PS5. So for me, it was all about that fear of missing out, but then also wanting the best graphics and frame rates possible for when I am playing. On the big screen, of course, you don't really see the benefit on the Portal. Well, I got it for the fear of missing out, and I'm wanting the best possible performance for my games. Am I seeing that? Sometimes. Could I got away with the base PS5? Probably, but I just wanted it for that fear of missing out. I wanted, like I said, I wanted my games to look great, play great, and the Pro gives me that. And maybe the console is for people who are future proofing. You want the best hardware for the next few years, and you've got the budget to afford that. And if you're getting the Pro, I think you need to make sure you've got the hardware, not the console, like the other hardware, your TV, to back it up. So you do need a TV which can support HDMI 2.1, which can offer you 4K 120 hertz. Should you buy the PS5 Pro if you're a budget conscious gamer? Probably not. By the time you factor in the price of the console and then the optional disc drive, you're looking at nearly £800, which is a big chunk of change. Base PS5 will still do the job for you. So that's one to bear in mind. So, did the Pro deliver on its promises to me of better performance in its games? So for the most part, yeah, it did. And yeah, I'm happy that I've got it. Um, and I'm looking forward to see what games take advantage of it in the future. Now, we all know GTA 6 is due, eventually. So I'm sure that will be the best console to play the game on. So that is one I think that's one of the reasons I did actually get the console in the first place, is that I knew I wanted GTA 6 just to be the best, it could possibly be. So there's that. And then also, one of the reasons I got the PS5 was Wolverine. Now, knowing it's the team from Spider-Man doing the games, uh, I'm looking forward to Wolverine. So I'm hoping again that will look as good as Spider-Man 2 does on the Pro. So if you've got a PS5 Pro, what are your thoughts on it? Was it worth the investment? Are you happy that you went that route, or are you thinking, maybe I should have got the base PS5 and I could have spent the difference on some extra games? Has this video helped you decide on whether you should get a Pro or whether you should just stick with the PS5? Let me know. Now, I'm still looking for this channel to grow. Now, if you could like this video, hit the subscribe button and even the notification bell, that will go a long way to helping me grow on this platform. So, thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.